Voyager 1, Earth's quiet emissary to the stars, was never meant to last this long. Launched in 1977, its mission was supposed to end after just 5 years. Far beyond its intended lifespan. Long after its mission ended, long after its designers retired, it kept speaking. Then, something happened. In the stillness of interstellar space, Voyager 1 sent back a signal. But this was no ordinary transmission. It wasn't just data. It wasn't just cosmic noise. It was structured. Deliberate. Like a message. And the message wasn't just strange. It was impossible. Systems that should have failed decades ago suddenly came back online. Data began flowing through computers that hadn't functioned in over 30 years. As if the spacecraft had been touched. Changed. Rewritten. Today, we dive deep into the signal that Voyager 1 sent. What NASA found. What they tried to explain, or hide. And what this might mean for the future of humanity. Voyager 1 wasn't just a probe. It was our first whisper to the stars. A golden record strapped to a fragile shell of metal. A message in a bottle cast into the cosmic sea. After flying past Jupiter and Saturn, Voyager kept going. It used the gravity of giant planets like slingshots, hurling itself into the deep unknown. By 2013, it became the first object made by humans to leave the solar system. It entered interstellar space. A realm untouched by any machine before. But it was never supposed to go that far. Every part of it had an expiration date. And yet, it kept going. Engineers began shutting down heaters, turning off scientific instruments, anything to save power. Still, it endured. Then, in May, engineers monitoring Voyager noticed something deeply odd. Its orientation system, the part that keeps the antenna aimed at Earth, began sending corrupted signals. But the antenna remained locked perfectly on Earth. The signal strength was strong. The alignment was flawless. It was as if someone was speaking clearly, but in a language no one had ever heard. NASA called it electronic aphasia, a loss of language in a machine. Even stranger, the corrupted data was being routed through a computer that had been shut down since the 1980s. It had no power. No assigned function. Yet somehow, it was alive again. Why? NASA's public explanation was cautious, perhaps a glitch. But behind closed doors, engineers were rattled. Because in deep space, systems don't just wake themselves up. Not after 45 years. Voyager was now at the edge of the heliosphere, the bubble created by our sun's magnetic field. This boundary, called the heliopause, is where solar wind crashes into the interstellar medium. Scientists once thought it was smooth. Predictable. Voyager proved otherwise. It showed that the heliopause is unstable, rippling, folding, shifting in shape. Waves of energy reflected and bent in strange angles. NASA's IBEX satellite confirmed the distortions. But only Voyager could feel them directly. The spacecraft sent back evidence of something stranger. Sections of the boundary were behaving like mirrors. Or doors. Some began asking, was something manipulating this edge? Making it permeable? When engineers realized the data was passing through a long-dead computer, that this wasn't an error at all. That the signal was intentional. That Voyager had passed through something. And something had noticed. Buried in the noise was a frequency no one had seen before. Not static. Not feedback. Not from Voyager's known systems. It pulsed. With rhythm. They couldn't isolate it. It was riding alongside Voyager like a ghost. And then, the space around Voyager began to change. The interstellar medium started reacting. The void, the emptiness between stars, wasn't empty anymore. There were shifts in density. Tiny bursts of heat. Localized turbulence. It was as if the darkness was watching Voyager and responding. Like the spacecraft had disturbed something ancient and quiet. And now, it was awake. Some scientists compared it to dropping a stone in a calm sea. The ripples didn't just move outward. They came back. Voyager even detected signals that returned at odd intervals, not from Earth, not from itself. Something was bouncing its messages back. Delayed. But deliberate. Space, it seemed, could echo. And it might be remembering what passed through. Then came the shift in trajectory. Voyager began to drift slightly off its projected path. The change was tiny. Almost invisible. But over time, it became measurable. Voyager was turning. Not from thrusters. Not from solar pressure. There was no force known to be acting on it. Yet it curved. Softly. Consistently. As if guided. Not outward. But inward. As if something beyond the edge had extended a hand, and Voyager felt it. And then, back on Earth, something even stranger happened. A senior engineer on the Voyager team suffered a medical emergency. While recovering, he became fixated on a sequence of numbers from Voyager's recent transmissions. Not coordinates. Not sensor data. Just numbers. He insisted they weren't random. He believed they pointed somewhere. At first, everyone dismissed it. But someone ran the sequence through a spatial analysis. And it pointed to a region of sky that had barely been observed. A cold, silent void. Not reflective. Not emitting. A place that absorbed everything. Voyager had passed near it 2 years earlier. No anomaly was recorded. But when old data was reanalyzed, they found it. One flash. A single spike. Just a blink. Then silence. Was it a signal? A pulse? Or the first opening eye of something we have yet to understand? Voyager was never supposed to come this far. It was never supposed to speak again. But across a gulf of blackness it has. Not just data. Not just static. A pattern. A warning. A response. A mystery greater than we ever imagined. Something that cannot be explained by physics alone.